And we're off. Now we better check. Okay. Click there. And we will share. Where are we going to share it? Share now in public. All right. So it's working there. Yeah, that's good.
Honey, are we on live?
We are on live, love.
All right, I'm going to just put my dinner to the side and join you.
Ooh. I'm just getting started up. Okay. There we go. Got that figured out. Hi, Angela. Welcome to Hero Shack Chronicles. I got the wrong stuff up on the screen, but that's all right. Diana's coming any minute. She's going to have a hard time getting the chair in here, but that's all right. Meanwhile, I just have to share it to Twitter, but I have to decide. I probably want to go to YouTube to share it, right? I have my Facebook friends, and then I have my YouTube friends. Someday, all of them friends are going to be friends. Hi, honey.
I am coming.
The chair's way over there. Somebody cleaned my
It's
room.
there.
Oh, you have a stool.
It's all right. I can stool. I'm good.
Oh, good. Okay, come on in. Welcome to my nightmare.
Your nightmare?
It's a song from Alice Cooper. He sang it
Oh.
years ago.
I'm a nightmare. I can walk in.
You are not a nightmare. The show's a nightmare only because I don't do it right. I should have all this stuff ready before we go. So I'll tell you guys, first off, I finished up the omnibus. Yes, that's what I was going to say. And if I can pull it up, I'll actually give a little sneak preview in the stream. Let me see. I think it's, no, that's the actual Hero Shack issue, which is also finished and going to the press. And we're going to be having a little bit of a Kickstarter before we actually put it on sale on Amazon. Yeah, Alice Cooper Live is awesome. He's got his own little theatrical thing going on.
Hi, everybody. Wait a minute. There. Hi.
Yeah, you got to come over more. So I got to move over. Yeah.
Here, is that good? Perfect.
Well, you're kind of outside the picture, but okay.
Oh, I won't be.
So it's a nice summer night.
No, it's freezing out.
No, look at the evening. It's beautiful.
Oh.
It's green screen, honey. Get it?
Yeah.
It's a nice summer night.
And are we doing this through Facebook? Or is
We're doing it through both.
Okay.
But as you can see, I have both. You know what I'm saying? Like I have both in my chat. Hang on, I gotta.
Am I going to need headphones?
I don't think so. It's not echoing. Let me just pull this up. It's a shame because my friend Doug is streaming too. I wish I could be there.
Oh,
He came into our stream, but it's okay because Doug is another pastor, and I'm sure he's doing. He came into our. I'm sure he's doing a God chat type thing. He always does. He's more biblical. If you guys are into more of a biblical God chat, I personally am fine with the way we do it, but that's because we do it that way. That's how we roll.
That is how we roll.
I don't know if there'll be a Messiah chips tomorrow night. There may or may not be.
It is Rabbi's birthday tomorrow, so probably not.
Well, it's Rabbi's birthday tomorrow, so probably so. You know, he came into our stream, but it's okay because you got to hit your mute. Doug is another pastor. You don't know how to hit mute?
It's Rabbi's birthday. I'm looking for it. Probably not.
Well, it's Rabbi's birthday tomorrow, so probably so. No, wait, I'm just hitting the wrong button. He came into our stream, but there you go.
Okay.
They just muted it at the computer. So,
Now I
honey,
can be on the chat.
how's it been going with Hero Shack?
It's going great, I suppose.
Why don't you tell me something?
Hi.
Oh, you got into the chat, so now she's going to be typing.
Yes, so
That's
I got
fine.
into the chat. So Hero Shack is moving along.
Yeah.
We really, like many other indie artists and comic book creators, got hit hard this year without having the Comic Cons to get out there and sort of share our book.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sales have been a little less than we would like.
They've been flatter than flat.
Yep, we can say that.
And it's okay because I think they're going to start coming up as soon as we get the Kickstarter going.
Possibly. I'm hoping that's the key and it will happen.
One of the keys, right? I mean, there's a lot of keys out there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you've been working really hard creating the second book. Also putting together the Chronicle issue for 2019.
True.
And
which was a blast.
It's been a little bit of an undertaking, but
yeah, but it's been a blast.
Yeah, it has.
I have to tell you guys, I enjoyed it so much. Just going over the first issue to the fourth issue, the progression of the art, the progression of the story, even the lettering getting better and better. And just you can see the learning in it,
right,
you know?
Right. Well, I was reading through. I had to fix my necklace. My daughter gave me a massage for my birthday, so I was a little topsy turvy. And I noticed that my necklace wasn't facing right, and it bothered me. But I read through the Chronicle version, and it was really cool for me to watch the very first book that he created, which was super exciting. Was really like, we were like on cloud nine, I think, when you finished that first book. And when we sent it to Amazon and when we sold it, I was like, yes, this is awesome.
Yep.
But to watch
each one we thought was really good.
One come along, it was very interesting to see the art and the dialogue and the changes and then the maturation process, I guess, as you matured as a creator in making a comic book. So I thought that was really cool. And then by the time we got to, I'm seeing it. I saw it. It's okay.
By the time we got to,
yeah. By the time I got to the fourth issue, there was such a change in the artwork, which I thought was really cool. I
and
like
you know what's cool is I've looked at issue 1 and 2 of Hero Shack in Search of Heroes, and I still see some of the same flaws being worked out in the artwork.
Dennis Tarbell, hi.
I see improvements too. Dennis Tarbell entered?
That would be your brother Tuck, yeah.
What's up?
Yep.
Oh, Tucker's here. Hey. Welcome to Hero Shack Chronicles. We're talking about the latest and greatest in Hero Shack Press.
Yep.
Yes. So the 2019 Omnibus is going to be released as one of the. Oh my goodness, honey! Can I go?
Do you want me to shut the door?
Would you?
Yes.
They'll be begging in a minute.
I'll be back in a moment.
But the Omnibus is going to be offered as a perk in our Kickstarter. At least initially, it's going to be in the higher tier. And what that means is it'll be the more expensive tier, but it's really for the Hero Shack fans anyways. The first year, like Diana was saying, represents the progression, the growth, the strength of becoming whatever it is we are becoming. It's continuing in this year. I still see things that I need to work on, but every issue I see things that are blowing me away more and more. That's exciting. And I'm not bragging. I just think we're getting where we really need to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it is a journey. When you embarked on this, God, a year and a half ago? It's a year and a half now.
Yeah, it's a year and a half now.
We weren't sure what to expect.
Right.
We knew that you had raw talent. We knew that you were able to do this, and you work really, really fast.
Yeah.
So looking at where we were last year, it was...
Well, in the undertaking now, I'm not bragging because it's not that big of a deal. People would say that I shouldn't do this because I'm not an expert at any of it, but I do it all. I write it, I draw it, I color it, I letter it. And even though one might say, well, if you got a good colorist, you wouldn't have to work so hard. Or if you got a better inker, it might look a little better. Yes, but if I do it myself, I learn how to do it myself.
Exactly. And you like the process.
I love the process.
You love the fact that you can put something out there and then look at it and say, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So I'm going to do it better. You like that. You are very competitive.
Yes.
And so you're competitive with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're competitive with everybody else, but you're very competitive with yourself. And you know that you are capable of doing great things. So.
Well, what really aggravates me in life is when I see someone with tons of talent and they abuse it. And I don't necessarily mean they sit on it. I mean they abuse it. They're using that pull to take advantage and to do things they shouldn't do in the industry and things like that.
I don't know anything about that, but
you do. You know what I'm hinting at.
I'm not going there.
I don't care. I just did. So to continue that line, that motivates me when I see artists and writers who are better than me that are taking advantage. I feel like the Kung Fu Kid, and I'm like, you know what? I have to train before karate tournament,
the Kung Fu,
and I will win. The Karate Kid, you know, or wax on or wax off, and I get my pencil out and I draw and I train and I draw and I draw, and I hope that I can get better. And then, thankfully, the Lord has blessed me.
Yeah.
Every time I've called upon him and said, Lord, I need to do better on this book, he's made it better.
Mm-hmm. I'm sharing. By the way, I'm sharing the post.
That's wonderful. Because now some of your cousins and friends might come.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Diana's a big draw. So before we start talking about issue 2, we need to discuss the pink elephant in the room. Should we?
We should.
It's Diana's birthday. That's right. June 1st.
Guys, listen. Oh, you can't see it. There. So I'm having a little bit of wine because it's my birthday.
Yes. So
why not, right?
We're celebrating her birthday tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are part of this party. As you can see, we're a wild crowd.
Yeah.
Fireworks will ensue at 10:05, but we won't be here because
it's okay. It's not a big deal.
We won't be live at that time, but the sky you see behind me will be full of fireworks.
Yeah.
We'll have a campfire. Yeah.
We're not going to have a campfire.
I'll be feeding her with grapes.
Yeah.
By the mouth.
He's really sweet, but
I'm not that sweet. No, there won't be a fire. This is really a green
He did make me a card.
I did, but it was supposed to be a poster, and I ran out of magenta ink. So in desperation today, because I'm like, I haven't done anything. It's her birthday.
He hasn't.
I can't even take her out to eat. Well, other than a fence and a pool and
financially, he agreed to a new pool and a fence. So I'm not complaining.
And I've been silent during about $1,000 in flowers.
Yeah.
And
I got to do all my.
And mulch.
So as far as like gift wise, guys, I am well taken care of.
And a roof on the.
That's not my birthday gift.
You said it was. No, see, but you don't remember. So the last month leading up to her birthday, everything she spent more than say $70 on. Well, it's for my birthday. Okay, cool, honey. Yeah. So by the time we're done, and I'm not complaining. I think she deserves a year full of gifts, not just a month full. But by the time we're done, she gets about a whole month worth of gifts. And it makes me happy because it makes her happy.
For the record, it's really not about the gifts.
And some of it, well, it's not. It's about the love. And some of it isn't even for her. It is for her.
Family and my friends to come over and hang with me.
Well, like if you go on Google Maps and look at our house, you'll see she's got a new perimeter set up. Complete with a fence and people will not mess with this house. She's got, I think that's a machine gun. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it shoots, but we are set up for partying. She's got the fence up. She's got the pool up. Somebody just came in. Hey, it's Lorenzo. What's up, brother? Lorenzo? Oh, look, I got her screens all messed up.
Hey, did you just dox yourself?
Oh, I always do. I don't care if people know where I live.
Well, that's true. Oh yeah, you were saying that the other day.
Yeah. I'm like, come on over. Yeah. My wife and I both have kind of a history with being wacky like that. Before we got married,
I'll make you some coffee and like something to eat.
Yeah, before we got married one night, one morning, she lived in the boonies. That was 99.9% white as far as race goes.
Yep.
And it
was a little country bumpkin
town. So she's out in the middle of the woods on this back road, basically, and there were other houses around, but for some reason, this half naked or almost entirely naked man,
He had his boxer shorts on. And
Yes.
he had some mental health issues.
we didn't
Long
know that at the
story
time.
short,
He knocked on the door and
I
she's
kind
like,
of assumed.
okay, God, I guess I'll trust you and let this man that's almost entirely
In his
naked
boxer shorts, he said he got mugged by big black men.
in royal.
And
That's not.
And there were
Doesn't sound very likely.
American people that lived in the town.
Yeah, the only
At that
African American there might have been
This
the
is
cop.
going 10 years ago.
Yes.
Long story short, I brought him in. I gave him one of my T-shirts. I made him some toast. He asked if he could call his mom, who lived in Florida, and he did. And
Because
then the mom
everybody
talked
from
to me.
Florida that gets mugged by African American men end up in a BFE,
And then
Massachusetts.
his mom said, "Can I talk to the lady?" And the mom said, "You need to go to another room so I can tell you what's going on. My son is diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenic, and he's off his meds." No kidding.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Yeah, and he's not harmful, but he hears voices and they tell him to do things. And I, as a healthcare worker, am familiar with that diagnosis. I was at peace with it, but and he's laughing at me because we were not
Because
together
for about
as
2
a
years
couple.
after that, myself and every friend she had within 100 miles was like, "You ever do that again, we're gonna freaking kill you."
No, listen, you don't understand.
I do.
When I opened the door, my two daughters, they were in first and second grade, were upstairs getting ready for school. I was a school-based therapist at that point.
Yes, you were.
And I had my foot and my leg behind the door.
Oh, because
So, like, if the guy pushed it, I could slam it. And I had a big dog.
I'll slam
But
it.
I felt like, I know people don't believe this, and for non-believers that are watching the show, they're like, here we go. But I really felt the hand of God saying it's okay.
And even though I'm mocking you, I felt that to myself, so I understand.
Yeah,
It's
so
just,
I
it's
don't
so
just
crazy.
open my door to anybody.
But it's so crazy looking at it
They
as
just
her
like
husband. I'm like,
crazy.
somebody knocks on the door after 9 o'clock, and I'm running for it because she'll just be like, "Oh, rioters, come on in, come on. I'm gonna make you coffee. Here's a T-shirt."
So I did. So I got him something to eat.
Yeah.
I made him some toast.
Yeah.
I talked to his mom. I got the scoop on him. I called the police because I knew he had to go to the hospital. I got lectured by the police. I got lectured by the ambulance. I got lectured by every neighbor that's within 100.
Yeah.
You got lectured by me, even though
My
I
boss,
was in Florida and
him.
non-romantic.
And you know what? You know what's the most coolest thing? It was really cool. Okay, so I got to back up because this whole thing was at that point in my life, and this has nothing to do with Irishak, but it has everything to do with Irishak because it's who we are. I was not involved with anybody. I just met Chris. I wasn't involved with him. We were chatting, kind of like Lorenzo. We were talking, and hey, this is cool. You love Jesus. I love Jesus. Oh, yay, and whatever.
You're a space stack. I'm an Altarian.
Yeah. And so, no. So I had prayed that night, the night before I prayed for God to send somebody who really needs a lot of love. God strike me dead. I was on my knees praying, Father, just give me a man that needs a lot of love. I have a lot of love to give. I just need somebody that I go bowling with or to a movie with. I was a single mom. I didn't want anything heavy duty. That morning, this man shows up in his boxer shorts. So I'm thinking, this is not funny, God. He's half dressed. But he was very sweet. He ends up, he was Jewish, Orthodox Jew.
Of course he was.
And, which was even funnier.
You could tell because he was in his underwear.
So why not?
Yeah.
Who would God send?
I don't know if you caught my joke there. It was a little strange.
He wasn't threatening at all. My poor daughter's sitting down, dressed for school, looking at this strange guy. Like, they're like,
We're talking like 11 and 12-year-old girls. And they're like, Mom.
Like, who's this? But my dog didn't growl. He totally went up to him. So he went to the hospital. He got taken care of. But the mom flew in from Florida and took a taxi to my house way out
to give her luggage.
Middle of nowhere because she wanted to meet me. She was so thankful that somebody would do that for her child. Now, I'm a mom, and I have a 40-year-old son, a 39-year-old son. So, hey, if my son had some issues and somebody took him in, I'd be like, yeah, I'm coming to meet you. She took me out for lunch. She bought me a $200 piece of luggage as a thank you gift, which I didn't want.
It was like the Wheel of Fortune complimentary gifts there.
Then, when he was checked out, his father, who was a neurosurgeon in California, came with his son to my house to return my favorite green T-shirt and this beautiful letter that this young man, he was probably in his 30s. He was, I think, younger than me.
Yeah.
He wrote this beautiful letter thanking me so much. But you know what? That was totally a God thing. And then I ended up being friends with the family for some time.
Oh, that's nice.
Mom had a place in Florida. She wanted me to visit. He was in Florida. So
one thing led to another. We got married. I don't know how that all
yeah, we kind of got married and stuff. And
that was a long story, but it's kind of funny because if you look at the big picture, when we got together, we were both professing ourselves to be Christian, and now we're like messianic free thinkers. Yeah, we're hybrids. I don't know what to call it.
Well, we are lovers of Jesus. We are lovers of the Bible. We love people, and we love all kinds of people. Really quirky people, people who think that.
No,
they don't
honestly,
know God.
can I be honest with you? Honestly, we attract quirky people. Everywhere we go, we've discussed this because we ourselves are quirky. So, like, if we go, like, we went to a very special. What was that? It wasn't Passover. It was a Seder meal.
Seder meal.
And it was a big group of Messianic Jews. And we ended up with the most bizarre cast of characters and a beloved brother and sister. Oh, it was.
It was awesome.
We looked at each other, and it's like Jesus had like a real bizarre group of followers.
But it was so cool because these people were from all different walks of life, but we all had one thing in common. We love God. And we were trying to like.
And the other Messianics weren't sure about any of us. They were all like, oh, that's the crazy table.
Because we're at this Seder meal, and I don't know, Lorenzo or anybody watching, like, if you understand, like, the Seder meal is very traditional. There's very formal. There's things you do. We had none of it, right? We had no idea what we
yeah, we're looking at people we don't even know who are sitting at the same table as us, like, so do I eat this or do I just dip it in the water? What do I do? That's not water. Well, what is it?
But we digress.
We do.
So Hero Shack Chronicles.
Hero Shack, let's go back to the omnibus for a second because there's an interesting...
Time out. Why do you call it an omnibus? All I can think of is those double stacker buses in London.
Because it's like Optimus Prime and buses. It's awesome. Omnibus.
Does it mean that it's a collection of different comics in one volume?
Yes.
It's just so funny.
It's the whole 2019 collection. 170 pages of Hero Shack glory.
Is it like a trade then?
What's that?
Is it like a trade?
It's going to be. So I'm going to be offering that on my Kickstarter with issues 1 and 2 of Hero Shack in search of.
Yeah.
So the Hero Shack thing is actually 4 issues deep plus another one.
Mm-hmm.
I just changed the byline on the title up there, and it just started going from number 1 again. We actually debated. I was like, should I start over again, or should I just keep going with the Hero Shack Sandbox? And there were a lot of bad storylines in Sandbox. Just first time comic. I just went out there and started making comics. I didn't even know there was an indie scene like this. I was like, have you ever heard Liam say he was going to save comics?
I think he says. Does he say that like on every show? Or
I think he does, yeah. But that was.
I'm just guessing. I don't know much about him other than
I see a lot of.
He's an interesting fellow. I'll just say that. I'll just try to be.
He gets a lot of coverage on Twitter. A lot of clips. But I literally started.
I probably know him from these clips where he's supposedly saving comics by hosting an internet blood sport show where everybody argues.
Yeah, I thought about having one of those. It would be fun, but no.
It just divides people is the problem.
There's so many people.
I accidentally had that for a few minutes on my show last time, and then I booted the guy. First time I ever booted someone. It's just. I felt bad doing that, but it's like, so he was on there, somebody was on there and they had a difference of opinion, and basically it wasn't something I was really interested in talking about. And a bunch of people were dogpiling him, and that wasn't good. And there's a bunch of people arguing on top of, but the thing is, the guy wouldn't let it drop, and so I had to give him the boot. Mm-hmm. That's my side of things. He's got his side of things, and he was disappointed that I didn't let him promote his book. And it's just I didn't know he wanted to promote it. I would have actually been pretty happy to promote it.
Right. Well, no, I was just going to say with the Hero Shack Sandbox Omnibus, it does actually have an appearance from Rabbi Peter. He's Revi in the book.
Yeah.
And he appears in a dream sequence. It was issue 2. or 3. I think it's 3.
It's 3.
And basically, I went into like a dream sequence. It's not as complicated as I wanted art-wise, but it has a lot of vision and power in it, a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited because he's my bud, you know, and like that's the kind of guy I am. I put things into the book. There's a friend of mine, Gary Henderson, who does Pyramid Nights. Will you hand me that over there real quick?
Absolutely.
Who does Pyramid Nights? This is a local indie comic in Massachusetts. Huge hit in
Sorry about that. Got some stuff going on in the background.
Yeah, well, it's picking it up on the green screen. Can you see like how it's going through right here?
Yeah.
That's actually a green, yellow, but it's coming up on my green screen. But yeah, this was like the first guy I met in the indies, and I love the guy. He's awesome. Like right away, I
Hi,
bonded to
Gary.
him. Oh, is he here?
Yes.
Son of a
We were
gun.
just talking about you in a good way, bud.
Yes. But like he's also in the book because I did a crossover with him in issue 4, which was like a huge deal to me too. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, we're getting to do this. So I accomplished a lot in the first year. This year, I'm just trying to improve the quality every issue.
Yeah.
I don't even want to put issue 2 out because I feel like I'm drawing better now, but I have to. You know what I mean?
Hey, John. Welcome, welcome.
So is this related? So this is this the omnibus or?
The omnibus is 4 issues in 1. Then I have the series this year, which are being put out as individual issues. And then
You're giving me a headache with all these different options.
Oh yeah, I know. But they won't all be in the Kickstarter.
Okay.
Ultimately, what'll happen is every year I'm going to end up with an omnibus, and those issues will only be available in the year that they're coming out. You know, for example, I'm really excited. We're about to announce that we'll no longer have the Hero Shack Sandbox individual issues for sale.
Right.
They'll be
Is
up.
that the one you're getting tired of?
Is that what?
Is that the one that you're getting kind of not exactly tired of, but you,
Yeah. Well,
you didn't exactly your hard work stained.
Hey, John, I lose my confidence in the title because I want to do better things. But then I remember Hero Shack can be anything I make it because it's my universe.
Oh, it's the name of the entire universe?
Yeah, well, Hero Shack is just the mechanism I use to spit out my stuff.
So, it's kind of like Cross Comics for Rick Piper's got his Cross Comics universe.
Yeah, probably just like that because when you're coming up and you're just creating stuff, everybody has their own characters. And in my case, and I'm sure most cases, they're derivative of much bigger characters.
Right.
So it's like you play with them, you can do all sorts of things with them. Cyclopean, for instance, the one-eyed turd, as other people call him.
I love Cyclopean.
Right.
If you read the comic books, if you read them all, he has the coolest personality. He's super funny. He's super goofy, super nerdy.
I just hit my lever to go down.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I didn't mean to. My heel hit it.
I'm the one that's drinking wine. It's my birthday.
I
And
know.
I'm like,
I don't even
Oh,
drink.
by the way, happy birthday.
thank you.
I forgot to.
Yeah, she's my babe,
Yeah.
27 years old.
Oh, yeah, right. No. But I'm like, he's like, it's your birthday. You still want to do it? I'm like, of course we can do Hero Shack Chronicles.
No, that's so cool.
We're doing a lot more streaming. Like I actually paid for StreamYard.
Yeah.
So I have to make it worth it. So I've been doing a lot more shows.
Oh, that's what I did. I paid for it for a month. I didn't pay for it for an entire year.
Yeah, me either. I wanted to know if I liked it.
Yeah.
I like it when you guys,
It's a great program overall.
when other people get involved, when you get a lot of guests, like actually I like it when there's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
6 gets a little chaotic, but I like the option of having people up here. It's always available. You know, they can come and go as they want, and it's nice.
It's kind of cool because you can stream to YouTube and Facebook, and I can man the chat. Like I know that you have the ability to put it up here.
Yep.
But I like it because like John came in, and Gary came in, and
Well, she is
Angela,
focusing. So anybody on YouTube who might be watching, she's focusing entirely on the Facebook chat.
Yeah.
I can see you in my chat, but she cannot. So if you have anything that you want to say, and
so that's kind of how it goes. And
well, this is how we normally run it. With her doing the text on the side, but she's been leaving my side lately on the show. She pops up as her cell phone, which is fine.
I know, it's terrible. He hates it. Remember Lorenzo? Remember the other night he was having fits because I was having a snack. I was moving in the chair. He comes stomping out into the living room. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I like it how it is now. I mean, because you two were like, it seemed kind of, if you two want to be in different rooms,
no, we
different. It's
chemistry
different
wise,
you know, that's okay. It's just, I think it was
saying,
kind of difficult to keep it from echoing, and then you're
it
has to be ways apart, and it just
plus
more natural this
I
way.
mean, when she's not here, I am not as attractive. You bring a glow to my face, honey.
Is that what it is? You're so.
It
He is the best BSer I've ever met in my life.
Why didn't you think you married me?
Exactly. So I just want to point out that if you go to the Hero Shack website, I have not updated.
I don't even know if it's active. I put an under
I haven't
construction thing on
updated
it.
like the Comic Cons. Like all of our Comic Cons have been canceled.
Even Plastic City.
Plastic Con got canceled. I'm super sad about. We were so excited. We had gotten in this year. The one in October hasn't been canceled, and the one in November has not been canceled yet. So we're still hopeful for those two. But you know what? There's next year.
But you know what? I was kind of happy that Plastic City canceled.
I'm not.
And I'll tell you why. I was very nervous because
I'm not. Don't be nervous.
I'm going to say this.
You can say
because Mighty Mascots, which is published by Alterna, the guy who runs Mighty Mascots runs Plastic City Comic Con. I love the guy personally. Like we're buds, you know, Kevin and I, and we've hung. But I was afraid that might cause some friction because of the relationship of Peter Cimenti with EBS. But then again, War Campaign and EBS just broke up, so it might be okay.
Did anybody even talk about CG at cons? Because I heard most cons are like, let's.
Everybody I've talked to about CG at a con, they've shut me up. When I bring up CG at cons, they go, "Whoa, no, don't."
Well, why would anybody? So the thing is, why would anybody need an actual consumer movement to do what people naturally do and not buy books that hammer people over the head with politics?
Yeah,
you know. I mean, most people don't want to. Most people want good customer service, and they don't want to be hit over the head with politics.
Well, I don't mind.
I mean, whichever kind of politics it is, if it's doesn't fit the story, but I mean, feel organic.
Good writers can put politics in their work, and I don't even know this. I love it. Like The Watchmen has all sorts of overtures in it and stuff, and I love The Watchmen.
Doesn't the X-Men have?
If you have a type.
Honey, it was a comic book series before it was a movie.
Oh.
It was one of the best comic book series of my teenage years.
Part of the, I think, the issue with Hero Shack is that you have Chris, who's well versed in all of this stuff. Then you have me.
That's not an issue. That's part of the beauty.
I really try. Like, I never read a comic book before I met my husband. I personally don't care for comic books. I'm sorry.
So now, time out a second. Let me say this. Don't I sound a lot like Big Time Marvel? I have an editor who's never done comics before and never really cared about them before.
Well, it might be useful to have somebody who on your show though who can maybe say, wait a second, the audience might not, new comic book fan might not know about this or that or the other thing, because I find that incredibly confusing, and that's why I didn't get into comics earlier until my dad had passed away and my brother was sick and in out of the hospital. That's when I got into it. And the comics channels had made, some of the channels actually did make comic books seem more accessible.
Yep.
Like your boy Zach would read things in a silly tone of voice.
I know that he's very hated, but I actually enjoyed his videos until, well, I still enjoy him unless he's freaking out. That's when I don't like it. When he gets all stupid about, the comic book shops or this and that. Like, I forgot what it was, but he was mad as hell about comic book shops. And I'm like, bro, if they live, they live. If they die, they die.
There was a Richard Meyer who was hassling. There was this guy named Alfie, and he he was being harassed by the predecessor to the war campaign back when EVS used to go harass people on Facebook instead of Twitter.
Yep.
And he used to work for back when he worked for DC Comics. There was this guy named Elfie, and nobody's perfect. Elfie's got flaws, but one thing but everything he said on his blog turned out to be true about EVS. I mean, about EVS having a harassment crew that went after women and made fake accounts pretending to be. I've seen some of Ethan's critics do this as well, and it's not a good tactic to go and make fake these parody accounts or whatever, because that's what I'd rather have them do those tactics.
Yep.
It's just like I'd rather not have people show like certain pornographic, stuff. Let that be what we're opposing. Instead, if people are doing that who are critics of EVS, then people can say, well, both sides are the same.
Yep. Well, and I'm not sure that they don't. There are some characters on both sides that seem to have no problem crossing the line.
Yeah, exactly. And the difference, I think, is that the war campaigns key member, that's an organized group whose key members engage in these things. Engage in that.
Hi, Kelly Marie. Sorry, Lorenzo. I just like to.
Oh, go ahead.
No, just hi, Kelly Marie. Thank you.
Oh, I have to say hi too. Hi, Kelly. Kelly is a para specialist.
Yeah.
Who works in the same school as I do.
I used to work with her son when I was in the school.
I was about to ask, how's Derek doing?
How's your little buddy doing? Oh my gosh. I love it. Love it.
Yeah. So we haven't seen most of these kids since the shutdown.
Well, I no longer work in the school setting. Long story we won't get into, but I still have, like, my heart is like still, my little friends, and yeah, I just miss them.
Well, I think Derek might have been the last kid I saw at school, because she hung out the day that we were told we weren't going back with him.
Yeah.
But I do have something to say though about kids. Oh, he's awesome. Good. I saw Grayson today. If you remember Grayson from second grade, I can't say his last name for all privacy concerns.
Right.
But my buddy is moving out of the district, which was bittersweet because he was a very cool kid, and I'm gonna miss him. But yeah, so I got to see him today. That was fun. But yeah, we've missed out on. Well, she's missed out on her kids, but I've missed out on 600 kids.
Oh my gosh!
That I see almost every day.
Well, this whole crazy world, like, what I think about, not to change the subject, but I'm just going to put that out there. I think about what effects on the younger generation, like the elementary school kids, the younger kids that are having to deal with all of this, like the social distancing. You can't hug. You can't, like, it's just. I
don't mind the non-huggable.
No, you don't like.
It was funny because Grayson and I did not hug.
Hi. welcome to Heroes Chronicles.
No, it's welcome to Heroes Shack Chronicles.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I'm not even using the good microphone. I can't tell if it makes a difference. Eventually, I'm going to get a microphone boom with the what do they call that? The windscreen. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
But I will get a professional setup in here eventually, just because if we're going to do this, we might as well do it right.
Well, that's Chris's thing. He's always had the best of the best. Even before I met him, he always had the best of the best.
It's not the best of the best. I get, you know what? If you're going to go buy a hammer, you go get a Craftsman, because if you break that thing, you can go back and get another, right? You know what I'm saying? You get the best. You try to get the best.
Well, with CG, what I liked about that was I saw these people on like your boy Zach or Richard C. Meyer. He man, half the time he was like actually like I think accidentally filming his crotch as he was like reviewing these comic books.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's not why I watched it, but what I thought was cool about it was that he was so low tech. And the same thing when EVS first started out, he had like 3 different iPads, which I can't afford even one iPad, let alone 3. But but I just thought it was funny to see something not just funny, but I thought it was kind of refreshing to see YouTube go back to kind of its roots, where before everybody had all this high tech studios and stuff.
Well, I've been.
That was really intimidating, and it's like, well, maybe I could do a YouTube channel.
So, Lorenzo, Chris has been in the online community for over 25 years.
But my first video was when we moved here, so that was about 15 years ago.
Yeah, about 15 years ago, he started making videos, and I can tell you hysterical stories. Actually, if there was ever a day that we could get our children here to talk about what Chris was like in his early days of videos, it is like we all laugh now when we have our family parties and get-togethers. Remember, Dad would sit at the coffee table. It's so.
Well,
funny.
like I don't know if you've noticed, my channel has like 2,000 subs, but I only get a handful of views off of that because I haven't been working at it in so long that I think they've all forgotten I'm here. I've had a couple message me, but it's not like when I was making videos every day. Like every day I would come out with a new video.
Yeah, and he was like,
I used to get.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Well, I used to get around 100 views on each live stream. Yeah, there wasn't always during the live stream. Sometimes afterwards, and then I took a break for 9 months, and that was enough to. Now I get like half that if I'm lucky.
All right.
Listen, Lorenzo, I have to ask you a question.
She's going to be her for a second.
I'm going to be me for a minute. So I'm looking at your picture. And what character is that? I've been meaning to ask you. I don't know.
Where was she the last few? Honey, where have you been the last few shows?
Well, my last name's Sleestack, but I identify as Altrusion.
Do you remember Land of the Lost?
That's very complicated.
Yeah, but is it an alien dude or a dinosaur dude?
Oh my gosh.
Altrusion. Well, I call myself Altrusion, but the Sleestacks look the same.
No, I just please.
Hang on, I'm gonna look one up.
Some of us Altrusions are a little more gold colored than this, but
Okay, now I know why you were doing it.
All right, let me see.
So I multitask a lot. I'm sorry, but I have to multitask because
that's fine.
40 hours a week working, and I have to put at least 15 hours a week into my class. So that's like 55 hours a week. Plus, I maintain the house. I do the yard work. So I do a lot, which I'm not complaining, but sometimes I miss these little nuances. Like, oh, now I get it.
Okay, guys, I'm going to share a screen real quick.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Just because now she really needs an education. So.
Okay, they're educated. I'm being.
I don't think they have any Sleestacks or Altrusions at the beginning of in the Land of the Lost intro, though.
Hang on, watch this. Oh, no sound. Hang on, I gotta turn it up. Look at the Sleestacks. Look, the dinosaur's like, what the heck? Gee, I don't remember his name. Yeah,
I think it's Chaka.
Oh, it might have been.
He's a Pakuni.
So now I get it. Now I get why you guys were showing it.
Don't be frightened.
Are you done with the video clip?
Yes, I am. Lorenzo, thank you for humoring me. I appreciate it. I'm sorry.
This is an education for you.
And he's speaking Pakuni, the Pakuni language,
So
which is an actual language.
Yeah. Do you like? Is that your thing? Like you like those shows?
No,
and stuff
he's
like
really a Sleestack Altarian.
He really is.
Yeah.
Altrusion.
Yeah, you used to work on the show, right?
No, I didn't work on the show.
Oh man, you're blowing my cover.
Chaka.
The show was it's kind of like not a documentary exactly, because there were human actors.
I actually enjoyed the show, and every time I look back at it, I'm laughing.
Yeah, it was entertaining. They did the best they could with their technology, and they actually own the rights to the Land of the Lost. I don't own them, so.
This is so cool. Gary knows about sleeve stacks too. I wish you could meet Gary because he is a very down to earth sci-fi comic book bro.
Oh, Enoch was actually
It
Altrusion.
was awesome. He is
Yeah.
one of the best dudes around. I'm still waiting to meet his beautiful redheaded wife, but I met his son. His son is fantastic. I had dinner with him. We had dinner with him, his son.
Angela
his
was
son's
there.
Friend, Angela, her mom.
That was at
So
one.
much
That
fun.
was that at Nashville or Manchester?
Manchester.
Oh, I miss Manchester. Manchester, New Hampshire puts on a convention that is so sweet and beautiful and just large enough to make it interesting. It's not overcrowded though, and I don't know. I fell in love with Manchester.
He did. We had a really good
Yeah.
like we are so missing. Can we just talk about the Comic Cons? Because like for me, okay, as the what do you call me again?
You are it. You are everything.
No. You call me a
Producer,
No, you
director,
call me-
my
what is it
manager.
what is it that word that you call me? I'm a newbie. No, not a newbie.
Oh, you're a normie.
I'm normie.
Oh, okay.
I embrace being a normie, whatever that is. But anyways, I'm a normie. So I go to these shows like I'm like a little kid with like big eyes, like, oh, look at that. That is so cool. And in
Oh,
all
Angela's right. Did we have
sincerity-
dinner at Boxborough, Mass?
Oh, it was Boxborough. Yes, it was.
I just love Manchester.
But as a normie, being a part of Hero Shack, I look at it through a totally different lens. And we have a lot of fun, and I really miss it. Like, I really miss the Comic Cons. When we first went to I was like, Chris, this is not for me. I don't read comics. This is like, really, I'm going to be so bored.
When are we going to see if someone talks to me?
I had so much fun. I was like a little kid running up to characters that were, people dressed as characters coming up. I was like, oh my God, I'm all over that. This is
Cosplay. She likes
the
cosplay.
cosplay.
Okay.
I love the whole thing. And I love the fact that these people are so okay with being who they are. They don't have any pretense.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I want to get dressed up as
Okay, my favorite character to meet was Wonder Man. And I don't mean the Marvel Wonder Man. I mean, this guy was Wonder Woman, and he was a man dressed as Wonder Woman, right? And you might think that sounds really weird, but it was kind of like he had sort of made it like a male gendered version of Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, he was like a he, she kind of.
Yeah, I can actually find a picture.
He was a guy Wonder Woman, but he was beautiful and he was so funny.
He cracked me up.
And he was such a nice, I mean, you could just see his heart. Okay, I'm not into that kind of stuff, and that's okay. I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's not like something I would be drawn to, but this person came up to our table. Chris got all like, oh my God, it's Wonder Woman. I'm like, but it's a guy.
Yeah.
I know, but he's so cool. He had the wig and he had the whole thing going on. It was so much fun.
Yeah, so I had to run up and get a picture, and I'm standing there
Yeah,
next.
there's some real incredible cosplay that I've seen online. I haven't been to any conventions.
You have not been to a wait, Lorenzo.
No, I've never been to a convention.
You have not been to a convention?
Yeah, I'm kind of.
What?
Oh, I'm not always
So
that
hard for you?
big a fan of large crowds.
So the social piece. Got it.
Yeah.
So
I've been practicing social distancing before it was cool.
listen,
Me too,
Lorenzo,
brother.
listen, I am an expert in this. If we go to a Comic-Con in your area, you need to tell us and you can come and join us. And
Oh,
I
that'd be great. I'd appreciate
I
that.
promise you will have
We actually have one in Traverse City. I've never been to it, but
yeah, but
we even have a comedy festival too, which I've never been to. I did go to the movie festival, but it became now there's like Hollywood people coming up here. I don't even know if we're gonna have it this year due to the pandemic.
I totally get it. You were one of those guys that it's like, yep, there's too many people. I'm not going to go in. But you
Well, also, I have a hard time with transportation. That's probably the main thing.
Mhm.
You don't live in Massachusetts, do you?
No, I live in Michigan, so that's.
Oh, that's quite a drive.
Oh, so you're in Massachusetts?
Yeah, man. Because otherwise,
Okay, so you are in a northern state.
oh yeah.
That's what I kept talking about, like with the protesters with the Confederate flag. It would be just kind of odd up here in the north, it's not.
Yeah, when I was in Florida, I got exposed to all of that stuff, though. Florida was quite a
Oh
place.
yeah, I would imagine so.
Gary, you were so funny.
I lived in Louisiana for a part of a year when I was a kid, and in Texas for part of a year when I was a kid.
Honey, where did you put all the
I didn't. But
convention
laughing.
pictures? They must be on your page.
Gary Henderson is one of the funniest guys I know. Who comes up with these humdingers? He goes, "Yeah, well, I like Wonder Bread woman with Miracle Whip." He's gonna go as a pyramid knight at the next con. Oh my gosh, Gary, that would be fantastic. If
Does he have a
dressed up
costume?
Do you have a costume? I know. I was gonna help him with one,
That would be so cool.
but maybe his wife is a sewer, and then there's me and my. Yep. I'm just looking at the text chat.
I think I'm still showing pictures, aren't I? Yeah, I'm trying to
you
find.
are. I don't know what he's doing.
I'm looking
kinda
for the
crazy.
oh, there's all our characters from Hero Shack Sandbox. No, I'm looking for the picture with Wonder Woman. I know it's right here somewhere. Oh, here he is. Dun 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 dun. Now it's going to take forever to load. There he is.
Look
So I get next to this guy, right? And I say, "Hang on, I got to suck my gut in. I'm not as, I'm fat." He goes, "Honey, I've been tucking it in for 10 years."
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. He cracked me up. He really
was
did.
super nice.
Yep.
He was super cool.
Oh, that's great.
And I think he could tell I was a little nervous, but he just, "Come here, you little weirdo," and he was like all cool with me. So, and that costume is pretty elaborate,
Yeah.
You look at, like, he's got a nice what do they call that, shoulder pad there, and some really nice armor down the arm. It wouldn't be very effective for abdomen blows or if he gets hit on the left side, but hey, actually I think that is, let's see, right side. He'd get hit on his right side from that picture. This was the one. This was next to that anchor. We were right next to an anchor this show, and he was very grumpy until I finally broke down and had to talk to him. Bob, thank you. Was that this show? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, there he is, right there. Yes.
This dude right here.
Bob Almond. This poor guy
is-
had to deal with me for a whole weekend. He was right next to me, right? And the first day I was so in awe because he was like a big time Marvel inker for years and years and years and years. But he was kind of grumpy, and I guess he wasn't feeling well, wasn't sleeping well, whatever.
And he had, what do you call it, a front man?
Yeah, well, he had an assistant the whole time.
Assistant, which my husband tries to make me his assistant. And I say, "I'm your wife." It's different. I'm not an assistant. You can't boss me around. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
But so the next day I went up to him. I said, "Sir, I know you're not very happy and I know you're tired. I just want to say I've seen your work and I think you're incredible." And that was all it took. He opened right up. We started talking and I was like, "You are awesome, bro." Gary, you're a fun weekend. Gary, I haven't had an IP beer ever until I met you. You know that, right?
Oh, Gary, that beer. Chris is like this. He's sipping it. He's like,
it might as well have been whiskey, and I still sat there struggling with it, but it was fun. So when we were with Gary,
suck it up, be a man. Come on.
That was at the Northeast Comic Con.
Yep.
And
Foxborough, and yeah.
Who were we watching? There were a couple of bands, but I think the one we saw was a Nightmare Before Christmas.
It was super
band.
fun. I enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed it.
And that's what's missing this year.
Yes.
And it's okay because
I love the expressions of Gary's characters. So Gary, I'm on your page right now.
She's checking out Pyramid Nights.
Well, no, I'm looking for your costume. Is it the sweatshirt? I think it's the sweatshirt.
That one? That looks like it, yeah. Hang on, do you want to show it on air?
Yeah, it's the Pyramid Night. Oh, it is. Oh my God, that's super
Can you buy them like that?
Oh my God, it's like a whole sweatsuit.
Is it on his page?
Yes, it's on his page.
I just put my link to my Facebook in the chat.
You have one too, bro? Yeah, we gotta friend list you. Hang on.
That'd be great. Yeah, I put it in the chat. I don't know if you might have to copy and paste it because it's not didn't create a link.
Yeah, and the chat's weird. Sometimes it works with links and sometimes it doesn't.
I think I'd have to be a mod or something, but that's
So did you
Oh,
get it up there? Look at how
wow.
cool this is, Gary. This looks amazing.
All right, so let me pull this back
Did
up.
you have somebody design it for you? And then I
There
want
we
to
go.
order one. I love the sweatshirt.
All right, so it's loading.
Can
We'll
I
go
get
back
the
to the
sweatshirt?
preview
I
for
want
a
the
second.
sweatshirt.
So this is the preview. And just for those who don't know, this is a page from Caribbean Nights 5, I believe.
Yep.
And actually, that's Priest Judas right here on the bottom.
Yeah.
The guy with the white hair. He's
Gary,
the guy
it
that
looks
was in our book.
amazing.
Yeah, it does. It looks really
It
good.
looks really good.
Homeboy's picking up his game.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see how that page is loading. It's still not loading. Why? Okay. Sharing page with this. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, my link's not working yet. It's probably because we're streaming and doing all this stuff at the same time.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, did I? No, I didn't freeze. Why is it not? Oh, I see. I think I see. Okay, hang on. Let me go back here. Stop screen share. Start screen share. I think I have to start it over again. There we go. And just pick this. Share. Okay. Did it do it now?
I don't know.
Okay, so there's the Pyramid Nights.
Okay. All I see is.
Oh, here we go. It came up finally.
Okay, finally.
So let me switch this again. This is it, guys. Real deal. This one.
so. What's your screen name on Facebook?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's Christopher Tamuel Levitt. I think it's my full name. Hang on. Let me see. Let me go in here. Let me find Lorenzo's last.
It's funny because, like,
I'm just going by Lorenzo Sleestack on here.
What do you? Okay, hang on. I'll show you my page. Yeah, it's Christopher Chamulevich, and it looks just like. Oh wait, so we're looking at Gary's thing real quick. Let's look at that real quick, and then I'll show you that. Holy cow, dude!
So Chamulevich,
I love.
Did I pronounce that right?
Look at
Yeah,
the pants
you
and
did.
everything. Oh my gosh, Gary, that is so cool.
Oh God, you know I got to rip you off, right? I don't know what what outfit to do, but that is awesome, bro. Yeah, so this let me show Lorenzo just so we can get this straight. So everything's boom, boom, boom. This is my Facebook page, and that's how you spell my last name, which is a real wing dinger. I guess it's actually spelled right in the chat too, though.
I love it.
My name, thank you.
No, yeah. But, Gary, I love. Is that what you're going to be wearing? That is fantastic.
That's intense. That's gonna be fun.
That is super.
Your name in the chat is Christ.
Oh, Chris T. Yeah.
It's
Christ. He's Christ.
You want to know something funny though? I did that as a gimmick to see if anybody would notice. When you see my artwork, it's signed capital C, lowercase R-I-C, or R-I-S,
HRIS.
and then yeah, H-R-I-S,
Huh.
and then a
I'm not
capital
drinking
T.
wine.
So so like people confuse it, and whenever anybody mentions it, I usually give them a whole sermon about how cool Jesus is. But since you're already, been around, you know what I do. So, so I'll spare you the evangelistic turn. But yeah, I put that on there all the time. I love doing that. I forgot what it was
He
there.
is Lithuanian.
Yep.
He's English.
I was
He's
going to ask about
ketchup mixed.
I was going to ask about the last name.
Lithuanian.
Yeah, I've heard it pronounced all sorts of ways, but Chamulevich is the way I was taught. I was told by my mother it was Polish. And then when my father came back when I was 16 and made it clear that I was not Polish, I was Lithuanian. So for years,
Aren't they? Don't those aren't those countries kind of bordering one another?
oh yeah. So it's possible that I got a good mix of Polish in me. I could fit a lot of Polish jokes. Like I don't eat M&Ms because I can't peel them, and I heard that's a joke.
Shut up. Oh my God.
What? Have you ever tried to peel an M&M? She eats them all wrong. She eats them with the skins on them. I don't understand you. Anyway, yeah,
So
I'm kidding.
Gary, he is Lithuanian.
Yes,
He's also got English. His mom said in it,
and German.
and German.
Yep.
Which he's at like over there kind of stuff.
I'm very European.
German. He's very European.
Well, so it sounds like kind of like Central European.
Yep.
And I'm Italian.
But I mean, overall,
I'm Southern Italian. I'm the blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
overall, I am American. And I really do feel that way. It's funny because we live in a country that's only been around about 300 years. But to me, I'm the only one I've ever known. So it's like, well, of course I'm American. What else would I be, you know? Like, nobody outside America exists in my mind.
Oh, really?
No, they do. But in my head, when I'm my day-to-day, I forget that, like, there's a whole world out there. I'm like, it's all about America. Like, when they say Americans don't usually think about Europe and stuff, I don't until there's a problem. And then I'm like, what state is England in it? Oh, never mind.
That's interesting because some Americans have like real close ties to Europe, and some don't necessarily visit. You know, aren't really necessarily in touch with the relatives in Europe.
Yep. I think a lot of it has to do with the way my family was structured. My mom was pretty much the little darling of the family. So like when my grandparents died, she kind of lost favor. And my papa was a Rolling Stone. So, I mean, there wasn't a lot of rooting, you know what I mean?
Like there wasn't like a lot of, well, this family tradition goes back to the old country.
Family tradition. When I met her, I found out that people actually ate at the dinner table together. I was like,
oh yeah, you're telling us that.
Our first Christmas, I was so hard against Roman Catholicism at the time, I refused to have a Christmas tree. So she had to.
Boy.
Yeah, I was fanatical. And she had to decorate a picnic table.
Can we just say fanatical, all bold capped letters? I'm like, oh my God, the guy is like out to lunch.
I was so insane when we got married. I contacted a Jewish rabbi and asked him to be.
See how? Wait.
Yeah, watch how God does
funny
this. Yeah.
God is. So he's like, I can't have this and I can't have that.
I can't have a Christian minister. I must have a Jewish rabbi. So we contacted a Jewish rabbi. He says, well, let me see your vows. Because I said I'd written my own. And of course, mine said, in the name of Yahweh, I will forever love you, or something like that. And he went, dude, I'm not even supposed to read that name. Why are you putting it in your wedding vows? And I'm like, I'm sorry. He goes, look, I can't marry you, but I'm married to a Christian woman who can. So we got married by a Christian woman who could.
Loved it.
The Lord turned it around on me.
Because Chris is like, women should be silent in the church.
At that
point, he was like, women should be silent and we should be obeying our husbands and we should be little church mice.
I ain't trusting no woman with no ministry stuff. No.
I'm independent. I've been raising my daughters for 6 years. I'm like,
I got humbled. I learned a lot of things.
You did?
Interesting.
It was fantastic. It really was.
He got humbled, but he didn't get trampled.
No, I didn't get trampled. I got lifted back up and kissed on the cheek and told, good boy, you shut your mouth and say I do. And I said, I do.
Whenever she came in, she was the, what's the word? Quintessential Christian woman. Everything at that point in time, my husband despised. Not the person, just the presence of a Christian.
I was so far into my anger at the religion
I was laughing.
that I was like, when we first got together, Lorenzo, we got these little angels that she had, right?
Oh, God.
And they had the halo and the wings.
Yeah, they were
and
like
she had them hanging up all over the house. So the first thing I was doing,
little things I like to decorate.
in protest,
it's a girl thing, you know?
I kept flipping them, and so their faces were against the wall.
I come home from work, and all my little angels would be turned, so they're facing the
and
wall.
all her statuettes.
Sounds like a very kind of a mild form of iconoclasm.
It might be.
Yeah, because they actually did have these icon smashers, is what translates as, and they smashed religious imagery because they thought it was.
You haven't even heard the best part yet, though.
Yeah, boo.
Complains.
I told her, I said, those angels have those things. I hate. So I come home the next day, and all the angels are missing their wings. And I went, I was talking about the halos.
I cut off my angel wings, literally.
Oh no!
I'm like, angels have wings in the Bible. They don't have halos. Yeah, I was so fanatical that
Why didn't you like halos?
because it was tied to the sun god worship, Mithra and stuff.
But Moses had a halo in the Bible. Sometimes
Right,
it's translated
yeah.
horns.
The things that, yeah, he
But
did.
remember, this is in Chris's early years and being
Oh,
on.
so this is before reading more of the Bible?
He focused on certain things. So, and I didn't know he was
Well,
on
when
the spectrum.
I read about the halo representing the sun
point.
god for about a year, everything with halos had to go. You know what I mean? I was like, no angels, these halo candies, get them out of my house.
You know the little oranges that are halos you buy in the bag? They're halos.
Couldn't eat those. No.
And I worked with him on that. I just kind of like.
I have evolved.
Yes, he has.
And she got me to the point where I was attending church, being in a worship band, and being an assistant pastor. And I mean, I was playing the Christian bells. I was doing whatever they asked me to. And in the long run, I just found out I love Jesus. I don't need all that other stuff that they say you do. Now, you need the brotherhood, you need the meetings, you need stuff like that.
Did you just switch from like calling yourself a Christian to calling yourself Messianic? I don't really see much of it. You know, I know there were like some of the church fathers were like, don't step foot in a synagogue or whatever. But that was, I think they might have been talking about Christians entering like a synagogue where they weren't talking about Jesus in that synagogue. It was a traditional, I mean, it was like it was a side of because it used to be all one religion. Christianity was like just considered a denomination of Christianity, but
you got to know the Jewish people. The Christians feared the Jewish people because when the apostles did like the whole council in Jerusalem in the Book of Acts, they were concerned because Jewish believers were telling Greeks you had to get circumcised to be and things like that.
That would make me very scared too if I.
I would
have. Like,
if to join the new religion cult or whatever, I'd have to cut off my
rules.
I'd be like, no, and I know they weren't doing the full jewel thing, but I've already had the circumcision. I got nothing left.
Really?
But
you needed to go down that path.
So Lorenzo, to be honest with you,
Chronicles.
I have to finish. To be honest with you,
it's sponsored by circumcision.
We are messianics in the sense that we follow a rabbi named Rabbi Peter, but he is not messianic in the same sense as most people think. The true sense
of the world,
well,
like
he's not legalistic.
Set apart from traditional messianics.
He's not legalistic. He loves the law. He'll teach you the law all day, but he will not try to chain you to the law. He encourages law for a better life, but he's like, salvation was already given to you.
Right.
You can't earn it. That's not what the law is for.
Our world is very crazy, and if you come into it, be prepared for a journey.
I think that the Ethiopian Orthodox might have just kind of out of tradition, might actually eat kosher or something similar to that, because they view themselves as being the successors to they believe that it's not like a belief that everybody. I don't think it's required that you believe this, but it was like supposedly it was like a kind of like a pious tradition that their first emperor in the Solomonic dynasty, as they call it, was King Solomon's son with the Queen of Sheba. Now it just says in the Bible that they talked, and then it's kind of like interpolated or whatever, that they kind of had sex or got married or something.
King Solomon was a ladies' man.
Yeah, so they figured that there was more going on than talking, and it was the Queen of Sheba.
Yeah,
and so the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon are supposedly the founders of the what's known as the Solomonic dynasty in Ethiopia, and they ruled until Haile Selassie was overthrown by the communists.
Yep. So Diana, I think she's buying her first Pyramid Nights suit.
No, I was.
She seems to be going through the Pyramid Nights catalog.
I did something on that. What is that show called? I can't even remember the show I'm on. every pretty much every
Oh, they kind
Friday.
I kind of believe.
Yeah, I kind of believe that's the name of the show.
I was there last week when you were
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have arks in every Ethiopian Orthodox church. I'm in the Greek jurisdiction, so we don't have those, but
Are you Greek?
no.
Okay, I didn't.
Maltrusion.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Ask them.
What is Alfusion?
Oh well, so basically, like so there's a Sleestax on there in that show, and he was playing that, and they had the real heavy breathing sound. They were making that weird sound,
Yeah.
and that's their breathing. So the intrusions look like that, except for they have more. They have like 3 fingers and a thumb instead of 2 fingers and a thumb.
Yeah. They're a little smarter too, aren't they?
Yeah, they're smarter. Though there's also Altrusion throwbacks that look just like Sleestax, but they have they're smarter typically.
Mm-hmm.
Now this sounds racist.
Yeah, she's still trying to figure out what you're saying. We'll actually sit down. I told you this before. We'll sit down and watch it for a little while, and you'll get it.
I will.
I would recommend certain key episodes that deal with Altrusions.
Yep. Do you know any?
I can't think of them right off but
it's okay. We'll have to put together a playlist over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, because I'm not even caught up on my Land of the Lost watching.
It's been a long while since I watched them. It's wow.
So guys,
yes,
it is 9:15, almost 9:14, and it's my birthday.
Yeah.
And I haven't finished dinner, so I
haven't even started yet.
So I am going to gracefully bow out, even though I am enjoying the conversation. I
have to go too because I'm going to eat, but I might come back. I don't know. I won't leave the chat open and then come back later. You know what I mean? No. But if you're streaming later, anybody, I might join your streams or just catch you on Twitter or Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so listen. Issue 2 is ready. The omnibus is ready. The Kickstarter will be finished hopefully this week. On a side note, I don't think he's watching, but Preston Poulter has been incredibly helpful.
Yep.
Helping me organize.
Yeah, I like him. You know, people might see him and they might say, "Oh, this guy comes across as cocky or whatever." But I've talked to the guy before in voice chat. At least I'm pretty sure I did back a few months ago, and I've texted him, I DM him every once in a while, and it seems like he's a solid guy who's striving to do right.
I've always gotten good vibes.
That's a really
nice
way of putting it too.
Yeah, but I've always gotten good vibes off of him, and which is funny because you would think, since I like to virtue signal so much on this war campaign, that I would be upset about like a lesbian comic, and I wasn't. It's not that big of a deal. And he's a great guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the thing is, I think he just might come across a little peculiar at first because and then when you find out his backstory, so to speak, well, it all kind of makes sense. Like, so the guy does have a decent amount of money, but it's not like he's hiding that. Just like he didn't hide the stuff he was into. One could just look at the back of him and look at his green screen, and just look in the background and see what he has on some of the imagery in his comic books.
Yeah, it kind
of see that he was into some stuff that people might call a little bit deviant or whatever. So,
and see, that's the thing. Like, God didn't send me here to mock or attack deviants. I'm actually here to like love on people the way he loved on people. So I'm like, I don't judge about that. He's nice to me. And in contrast, you look at someone like Ro or Ethan, who's always been mean to me.
Yeah,
no brainer. Preston stands out as an A1.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd prefer if maybe the Comicsgate logo it didn't have a mailbox being smashed, because when the police try to look into this whole thing and who's the good guys, who's the bad guys, I'd like to, if the prefer it. The critics of EBS. You avoided all appearances of evil, as the Bible says.
Yeah.
But I've done so many different. I mean, I know I've done different things that people might consider provocative.
Well, I can tell you that the logo has been discussed recently between Preston and myself and I guess his assistant. And they like it a lot, but I don't know what's going to happen with it. I may suggest some tweaks. We're talking about, of course, doing some simpler one-color versions for printing purposes. And
I forgot that you're so you're going to be what do they call that? Kind of like a licensee, or you're going to be
issue 2 will sport the logo on the Comic Skate logo, and as long as I can maintain the standards of Comic Skate, I guess I'll keep it.
No doxing, I think.
No doxing rules. Putting out your books on time when you say you will, or within 6 months, I think his time limit was. But I'll have mine out no problem because the way I do
everyone.
Take care.
Yeah,
God bless you.
You know what? I gotta go too because if I don't, I'm gonna be dead.
Hello.
But we'll talk soon, okay?
Okay, shalom.
All right, shalom, brother. Hey guys, I love you guys. I'll talk to you all soon. Hopefully, check you later. She's already out of the room. I gotta go
I
get
love
her.
you too, man.
All right, man. We'll see you later. Oh man, she's gonna start dinner without me.